A new study shows that electric car owners are getting pretty badly ripped off by insurance companies, and this means that EVs are much more expensive on average, at least in Australia, Europe, and the United States, to insure than internal combustion cars. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. A new study says that, well, first of all, there's some good points about owning an electric car that make it much cheaper. Ownership costs are far lower. Many people charge with solar. You can regen brakes, so you don't need to replace your brake pads very infrequently. I mean, really, there's not much that you need to fix in an EV. You don't need to do oil changes, for example. But in the United States, EVs are on average about 15% more expensive than a gas car, than the equivalent gas car. And when parts break, they're actually 30% more expensive to repair, according to some studies. Now, I mean, that could be true. It might not. I don't actually know. A new study says that EV owners are getting, well, kind of screwed over when it comes to insurance costs. This study comes from Insurify. And they said that EV drivers on average pay 49% higher premiums than those who drive internal combustion cars. And the study's a little bit questionable. Some of the cars that it compares, it uses an EV, for example, compares it to an internal combustion car. I'm not sure the comparisons are really fair in all cases. Anyhow, the data revealed the average annual premium for EVs in the United States is $3,442, which is extremely high. That's around $286 per month. Gas cars, it's only $193 a month. That's $1,122 extra per year for an EV. It's a lot more money. I mean, that would be enough, says Inside EVs, for a Tesla Model 3 owner to cover their annual driving if they only charged at a supercharger every time they filled up. So why are cars with fewer moving parts, what do they cost more to insure? Electric cars really should be cheaper, I think. Repair costs, repair time, and price of a total loss. And EVs are new, so insurers are being conservative. Here's what Insurify actually said. Insurers base prices on risk, and insuring a car that's more expensive to repair or replace adds to the company's financial risk. EVs cost 22% more to repair than gas-powered cars, according to Mitchell's May EV Collision Insights report. Now, I'm going to mention part of the reason why that is in a second. The average price of a new EV was $57,000 in June, while the average price for a gas-powered vehicle was $48,800, according to KBB. In the event of a total loss, insurers would pay an average of 18% more to replace an EV. And here's part of the problem. EVs are often written off, often when they don't really need to be. I've noticed this particularly in Australia, and I know it happens in the United States. Insurers are very conservative if there's some damage where they think it could be structural, and sometimes it's often not. I've heard of cases where it's quite often not. They just write them off. So insurers are more likely to write off an EV. They're newer, they're a bit unsure about the batteries, etc., than they are to write off an internal combustion car. EVs require more mechanical labor hours as well, which is crazy, says the report. 3.04 hours versus 1.66 hours for gas-powered cars. So why are EVs taking so much longer to repair? Well, they're new. It's a new technology. And often in these companies that repair them just haven't experienced it before. They don't have the same technical expertise with an EV versus what they have for internal combustion cars. Now, because many EVs require original manufacturer parts, the study said, mechanics can't pull from a vast inventory of aftermarket and recycled parts, which often lowers repair costs for gas-powered cars. Many newer cars, not just EVs, have technology that makes them more expensive to insure and repair. Advanced driver assistance systems, ADAS, often include multiple sensors and cameras and are vulnerable to even minor collision damage. So EVs have Well, Inside EV says pricey battery packs. Now, the truth is the battery packs, the price of them has come down enormously. They're not nowhere near as expensive as what a lot of people think they are. The truth is insurance companies often actually get aftermarket battery packs, and they can replace them for a similar cost to an engine in an internal combustion car. Now, how do I know that? Because I've actually spoken in person to insurance companies themselves. I mean, I'm not lying about that. I've spoken in person to the insurance companies, and they are getting, in many cases, if they actually replace a battery, if the insurance company does that kind of thing, they actually get the batteries for really low prices, prices that would surprise you. It can be from $3,000 to $5,000, shockingly low. Anyhow, EVs are new, and basically the companies that repair them are charging a premium. That's what's happening. Honestly, it's a little bit of a rort to some degree. Now, of course, insurance companies are being more conservative, so they're pricing high premiums on vehicles that they're unsure about. But at the same time, the companies that fix them are also charging more than they probably should. And that, I think, is also part of the problem. Not every shop is certified or willing to work on EVs as well. According to Insurify's reporting, this has led to a shortage of trained techs who can actually fix electric cars safely with apparently the required certifications. Then there is expensive EV-specific tools that are needed and diagnostic systems needed to service these software-centric cars. And that's where things can be also a challenge. Tesla EVs take top place on the most expensive EVs to insure. The Model X is the most expensive to insure, and it comes out at an average of $4,765 per year, which I think is just wild. In some states, the data shows insurance premiums for EVs are 75% or more than the equivalent gas-powered counterpart. That may be one of the reasons Americans are not buying EVs as frequently as what you'd expect compared to Europe, for example. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'd say a 75% premium on your insurance cost might be a reason to dissuade some people from buying one, potentially. The good news is that this will change. When EVs become more mainstream, companies will actually begin to lower the premiums. So yeah, it sucks right now, but I think as we see more EVs sold and as mechanics get used to them and as insurers get used to them as well, it'll change, but it's going to take some time. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching.